Hello. So we're gonna start with an article a bit, and then we're gonna move on from there, just to my thoughts and so on. So, Borderlands 4 boss Randy Pitchford wants everyone to have realistic expectations for performance ahead of launch. This is a big open AAA game, and lower end and older hardware may not perform as well. Now, before I do anything else, right, it's not unrealistic to expect games that you have listed on minimum requirements to run on said minimum requirements. And I don't mean when you listed minimum requirements of, I don't know, NVIDIA's 2080 series or something like that, and you run it on a 4070, that the 4070 can't even manage anything on medium. Let's just get it out there right now. 40 series is still on the higher end on the graphics card spectrum. But these developers expect you to not complain when their minimum requirements are, like I said, around the 2080 that would theoretically allow you to play a minimum requirement game on, I would say, at least low graphics, right? With those set settings. What we are experiencing in now PC gaming is that even the higher end graphics cards, your PC specs on the higher end altogether, cannot run a lot of these AAA games even on medium graphics without any problems. They're just unoptimized messes. That's what people have issue with. It's not that people have unrealistic standards of running, I don't know, a 20-year-old PC that could basically barely run, I don't know, Vice City from back in the day to run, I don't know, Borderlands or, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Shadows or something. That's not the issue here. The issue is that your games are just unoptimized. But let's continue with the article a bit. It has been confirmed that the Day 1 patch is in the works for Borderlands 4, which in a new series of Twitter posts, Pitchford says does a lot. Even so, it won't work miracles. The expectation for using a below min spec machine should be that the game is unplayable. It's a big, bold, new, seamless world, and I'm sorry to say that all the hardware may not provide buttery smooth performance for the last gen AAA games, as has always been the case since the dawn of PC gaming, he states. Theoretically, you're not wrong for the fact that if you do not meet the min specs, you should not expect to run a game with that said hardware. But like I said previously, that's not what we're experiencing. We're experiencing very well built hardwares that should run it smoothly, even on medium settings, or even on, if you have a higher end, you should expect to run it perfectly regardless of your settings. What we're experiencing, as a prime example, Monster Hunter Wilds, it's still broken. Even on the higher end, where you can brute force the game theoretically, is still broken. It has crashes, status, the list goes on. It depends on the consumer's basis, which one is. Like, my brother has a 4090, I think, and in general better PC than me, but he continuously crashes, while I have a 4070 and generally a bit lower grade PC than his, yet I can still play some like Monster Hunter Wilds. He just can't run it. He crashes continuously whenever he's in a certain point. But I'm getting off topic here. But the point is the fact that it doesn't matter your hardware. The games are broken fundamentally. The developers cannot handle game making nowadays. It's like you pay for being essentially a beta tester. You pay for release day to test the game so they can work out bugs for the next couple of months. And when those said people that buy the game after, I don't know, a few months will actually get the release date, because all the people that bought it early tested it for bugs. Well, congratulations, you just paid for early testing. Because we do not get games that run on a fundamental level on day one. And the day one patch is an expectation nowadays. This is the thing these companies fall behind. Oh, there's gonna be a day one patch. But how many of those day one patches actually fixed the game to the point where it runs smoothly? In my recollection of my memory, none of them. None in the recent history of day one patches has fixed the game where it runs stable. There's always months of patches before the game actually runs as it was intended. Let's continue elaborating on this a bit further. Pitchford explains that in collaboration with Gearbox's engineering team, publisher's 2K's quality assurance team, says the standard and 2K QA reports indicate that they are able to achieve 60 FPS average with minimum spec PC on typically medium settings. Of course, different PC configurations will vary, and HDD versus SDD is also a factor for the hitching. Pitchford continues, yes, day one patch has some key improvements and optimizations. I just want everyone to have realistic expectations for performance. This is a big open AAA game, and lower end and older hardware may not perform as well as higher end modern PCs. And this is what I also want to talk about. There is a Twitter post by Pirate Nation. Borderlands 4 performance optimization is poor. At 549 with RTX 4080 and frame generation on, it achieves 60 to 70 FPS. Without frame generation, it drops to 30 FPS. The game also stutters and freezes, per a YouTuber with early access. Now, I looked at the video, because he does not mention what settings he plays, but in the video, the person actually mentions that they play on medium settings. And keep in mind, Pitchford did say that it will run on medium settings just smoothly. This, to me, is a higher end device with a 4080. It couldn't even achieve 60 FPS without frame generation. That does not speak to me like an optimized game. It's a broken mess. It's gonna be again another broken release of a $80 game that they expect us to pay the full price to receive a product that would only be finished few months after release. Yet people are supposed to pay for the game full price, test it for them, and then after the few months of fixes, you can get your experience as it was intended. This is genuinely stupid at this point. Why can they not just optimize their games? Do they not have the talent to optimize anymore? Are they lazy? Do they not want to do the work? What is going on? At some point, it just can't be the engine's fault. Although, I guess it's a bit of the engine's fault and a bit of the developer's fault, but either way, there are games that can do that, can optimize before release and release its stable results. Yet most don't. They just don't care because people will still buy it. And there are those defenders that will be like, yeah, but day one patch, well, that's gonna be fixed. You're not buying a product to get it fixed. You're buying a product to get it already finished and able to play from start to end without issues. Yet every single AAA release recently has been a broken mess that you need months in order to play it. And like I earlier mentioned, my brother still can't play Monster Hunter Wilds because they still haven't fucking fixed the issues. Sometimes it doesn't take months. At this point, I think it's genuinely going to be years before something happens with that game. My point being is, it's not keeping expectations realistic for people. It's you at the AAA companies being realistic and realizing you're releasing products that are just unfinished. It's time you start taking accountability instead of everything is on the consumers. As if we're the ones there making the game. And don't even start that it's hard making games. It's not our issue. You're the ones making the game. It's your fucking choice to do so. And it's your problems to figure out how to fix them. Clearly this game is not ready for release. Clearly Borderlands is too big of a franchise for people to realize that this is signs of a very unoptimized game. But that's what I wanted to talk about anyway, so I'll see you all next time.